Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Help promote and rank up my channel. Help me get 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Greatly appreciate it. I want to hear everybody's thoughts and opinions on this one. We're going to be reviewing the sequel to Scorpion's Revenge, Mortal Kombat Scorpion's Revenge, an animated flick that centers around the first tournament, but also Scorpion's Revenge. Kind of like the new movie did. Mortal Kombat Battle of the Realms is a direct sequel to Mortal Kombat Scorpion's Revenge. Mortal Kombat movies have a bad track record. We're going to talk about the brief positives, but mostly this movie just pissed me off. It got me fired up with a passion, which is more than I can say most movies. At least I didn't get bored by it. But let's talk about the positives real fast.
Round 1. Fight!
Alright, so the positives on this one, it does have signatures, moves, x-rays, fatalities, brutalities, eyeballs, flying, hardcore, action-packed, great animation, and it's an interesting ensemble of characters. This centers around Mortal Kombat 2, the video game. In a way, Shao Kahn and Raiden go before the Elder Gods to petition a final Mortal Kombat, an end-all be-all, because you've got to have like 10 consecutive wins to put a permanent end to Shao Kahn's attempts to invade. One of the cooler elements in this, it's cool to see the friendship between Smoke and Sub-Zero, and when they're faced with the challenge of their clan leader converting them to mindless cyborgs that just obey orders. Sub-Zero going after Scorpion for the death of his brother. That was interesting. And I was so excited to get just a Mortal Kombat 2 style tournament. Led to Raiden giving up his godhood to participate in the tournament, becoming mortal, and experiencing the hardships of what it means to be mortal, what it means to have that kind of fragility, and to go into something like Mortal Kombat with it. That was really interesting. Film has a great voice cast, great group of fighters. Stryker joining Earthrealm's heroes, characters from later Mortal Kombats, like the Bug Lady, Lin May, and there's a few interesting things that play out on screen between Sonya Blade and Johnny Cage, but
Round 2. Fight!
It's a pretty negative film. Let's just get straight into the negatives. This film really pissed me off. It completely goes off the rails, and the third act becomes something so different and so stupid and ridiculous. Like it wanted to be a superhero movie meets Godzilla vs. Kong, that kind of thing. It felt a lot like it was hitting some of the beats from Mortal Kombat Annihilation. So these animated films do, in a way, try to mimic the live action films that came out in the 90s. You had Scorpion's Revenge, feeling a lot like the first Mortal Kombat movie, but different in the fact that it couldn't decide if it was a Scorpion's Revenge story or if it was a Mortal Kombat 1 tournament. And a lot of the film, they took side off the tournament. Like there's the way they structure the tournaments, the fights in here, the pacing is really bad. Once the tournament starts, you get a bunch of brief little fights with very notable characters, and you've also got a lot of characters being spared by people that they shouldn't be spared by. Earthrealm heroes losing fights, getting spared. There are some incredible deaths, shocking deaths, but the problem is there's no space given, no room to breathe for the characters to really properly mourn them for an emotional impact. It's like, oh no, one of our heroes died. Let's just jump right into the very next fight scene. Make some shock faces, gasp, that's it. Especially in terms of who one of the people are that die, the impact that it should have. The third act is garbage. It's trash. The rest of the movie was not so great either, because the tournament is just so weirdly structured, so weirdly done. You've got characters fighting each other out of order. Like, you think Shao Kahn would be the last one you fight for anybody to fight. You think that Kantoro would be the man right before him, but they don't offer any of that video game structure to it. They just have some of these characters in here. They have a lot of characters that shouldn't be in here, and it really is a mess. Some of the coolest things they had going for this movie is the fact that it's why can't a Mortal Kombat movie just focus on the tournament? Why is it always got to go off the rails into these other areas like this one did? You had this whole subplot with Scorpion that continues from the first film that's really not that interesting, and it's largely responsible for the rest of it plays in the background of the rest of the movie. Scorpion running around trying to escape something, prevent something from happening, and while this pivotal tournament is going on at the forefront, it is the main focus, or should be the main focus. They keep revisiting this. Sub-Zero wants revenge on Scorpion. Scorpion's trying to prevent something really bad from happening, and then that becomes the main story in the third act, and the tournament just weirdly paced. In the third act, it is nonsensical, irredeemable garbage. Why did we go there? It was very strange. 4 out of 10. Really bad movie. Do not recommend it at all, despite the fact it's only 120 minutes, I believe. Not worth the watch. Or maybe you can watch it up until the tournament's at its end and just stop right there. Just shut it off, because it gets really stupid. Don't forget to comment. I want to hear your opinion on this. Maybe you actually enjoyed it, and that's cool if you did. I just could not, man. I thought it was a god-awful mess. Stay awesome. Rock on.